Hello, hello everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. So now we would be starting with JavaScript. This is basically JavaScript. This book is by O'Reilly, and the name of this book is JavaScript: The Definitive Guide. It is 7th edition. Okay, so now today we would be starting with the introduction to JavaScript. Now, JavaScript is the programming language of the web. Now, what is basically trying to say is the JavaScript engine that is inbuilt. It comes inbuilt with various other browsers. For example, Google Chrome has the Google Chrome V8 engine. That basically uh, interprets and compiles a JavaScript. It is already inbuilt in JavaScript. Sorry, it's already inbuilt in the web browsers. Hence, we say that JavaScript is a programming language of the web. The overwhelming majority websites use JavaScript, and all modern browsers on desktops, tablets, and phones include JavaScript interpreters, making JavaScript the most developed language. So, as I said, most modern browsers are able to interpret and compile JavaScript as they already have the JavaScript engine present in them. Over the last decades, Node.js has enabled JavaScript programming outside of browsers. Now, suppose if you need to use JavaScript outside of a browser, the in your local PC, yeah, you need to have some kind of engine that is able to understand the JavaScript language and interpret it. So the engine that is able to understand and interpret is Node.js. Now, if you have Node.js installed, you can run you can run JavaScript applications on Node.js directly. Node.js has enabled JavaScript programming out of web browsers and the dramatic success of Node.js. Now, since Node.js is one of the very famous programming language, sorry, not the programming language, it is very one of the most famous, I would say, server side engines. So then it has become a very which is able to run JavaScript, and since it has gained a lot of popularity, so then JavaScript is also now the most used programming languages upon the software developers. Whether we are starting for JavaScript from scratch or are already using JavaScript professionally, this will help you. If you are already familiar with other programming languages, it might help you to know that JavaScript is a high level dynamic interpreted programming language that is well suited for object oriented and okay, so the and functional programming. Okay, so these are all programming um, paradigms where which we will learn as we proceed ahead with JavaScript, like why it is a high level and why it is dynamic interpreted, why it is an interpreted programming language, what do you mean by a compiled and an interpreted language. As another time arises, we will discuss that as well. Okay, now JavaScript's variables are untyped. Now, what do you mean by this untyped? Its syntax is loosely based on Java, but the languages are otherwise unrelated. Although you see JavaScript has Java, but they are independent of each other. What functionality that keyword might have in Java may be not the same with JavaScript. It might be different. Now, JavaScript derives its first class functional from scheme and its prototypical. And nowadays, these are basically language or which we will learn. But you do not need to know any of those languages or be familiar with these terms to use this book and learn JavaScript. The name JavaScript is misleading, except for a superficial syntactic resemblance. JavaScript is completely, yeah, as I said, and JavaScript has long since outgrown its scripting language roots to become a robust and efficient general purpose language for various engineering and projects with high code bases. Okay, now this is basically a bit about JavaScript origin. It was created by Netscape in early days of web development. JavaScript is a trademark, a license from, oh, although Java, okay, even Java is from Sun Microsystems. I used to describe Netscape. Oh yeah, so previously we did not, before Google Chrome, we used to use Mozilla. That was developed by Netscape. The implementation of the language. Now Netscape submitted the language for standardization to ECMA. ECMA is basically accounts an association that has basically standardized something. So if a language, so it has a set of rules. If the language follows those certain rules, then it is said to be that it follows an ECMA standard. Okay, because of its trademark issue, the standardized version of the language was stuck with the awkward name ECMAScript. In practice, everyone just called it a JavaScript. This book uses the name ECMAScript as abbreviation to ES to refer to the language standard and to versions of that standard. For most of 2010, version 5 of ECMAScript standard has been supported by all browsers. The latest version is, I guess, ES6, that is released in 2015, and that has some few major features which was then added to JavaScript, including classes and module syntax that changes JavaScript from a scripting language into a serious general purpose language for a large scale general purpose language certified for a large scale software engineering. Since ES6, the ECMAScript specification has moved, and yearly they release new versions of ES. You can check them on the website as well. However, ES16 or ES6 is the most famous one. As JavaScript evolved, the language designers attempt to correct flaws from so whatever is in ES5 it was overcome in ES6 and so on. In ES6, the major thing that was added was classes and modularity, I guess. It's mentioned over here. Classes and module syntax. This is the standout thing. Previously, JavaScript did not have this feature. So after ES6, now JavaScript has module and class syntax as well. Why am I not able to highlight? Oh. Okay, as JavaScript evolved, the language designers attempted to correct flaws in the earliest versions in order to maintain. Okay, this we right. No matter. Okay, that is not possible to remove legacy features, no matter how flawed are. But in ES5 and later, programs can opt into JavaScript strict mode, which in a number of early languages mistakes have been. There is something called a strict mode in JavaScript. We'll see that ahead. The mechanism for opting in is the use strict directive described in 5.6.3 section that summarizes the difference between legacy JavaScript and strict JavaScript. In ES6 and later, the use of new language features often implicitly invokes strict mode. For example, if you use the ES6 class or you then all the code between. Okay, so if for example in ES6 there are somewhere where strict mode is automatically invoked. For example, I create a module, then all the code within the class of the module is automatically strict, and the old flawed features are not available in this case. So strict mode is basically the one that overcomes the flawed features. Okay. This book will cover legacy features of JavaScript, but it is careful to point out that they are not available in strict mode. Remember, to be useful, every language must have a platform or a standard library forming things like basic input and output. The core JavaScript language defines a minimal API for working with text, arrays, maps, and so on, but does not include any input or output. Okay, so like it does not have wherein a user can direct. For example, in C, there are using the standard library printf and scanf is already given. Okay, such as networking, storage, and graphing. Okay. Input and okay, so it does not include any input output functionality. More sophisticated features like networking, storage, and graphics, which are responsibility of the host environment, which in which JavaScript is embedded. It's generally used on the host environment rather than on the client side. The original host environment for JavaScript was a web browser. That is still the most common execution environment. Okay, so this is basically now why we this I already mentioned why we where we can write JavaScript code, because generally it is used on the server side because the processing takes place on the server side. So if you see a client and server model, a client is basically the user application that sends in the request to the server. The server does the processing, and it's the server also has a a JavaScript engine running. And in when we use local host on VS Code, our PC behaves as both client as well as an host. So since Resident and another host environment has been developed, instead of containing JavaScript to work with APIs, no, this is basically an environment to entire operating systems, allowing JavaScript programs to read and write files. Now, when we came to Node, previously it was not available. The many features such as file drives and other networking issues. But then, as soon as Node was developed, now since it was now it can since it was now now once Node was developed, then JavaScript could now be run on an environment outside of the browser. So then we could install it on our operating system, and then we could provide certain access to it, and we can perform other accesses such as saving data, HTTP, making and serving HTTP requests. A Node is a popular choice for implementing web servers and is also currently a tool for writing simple utility script as alternative to shell scripts. Now this book is full on JavaScript language, so we will be studying the documents for JavaScript standard library. This book contains the low-level fundamentals and then to the most advanced and the high abstraction. The chapters are intended to be read more or less in an order, but learning a new programming language is never a linear process. So what he's trying to say is we might skip some part and then we might come back and say, still it would make sense. When learning a new program, okay, now we are coming to exploring JavaScript. Learning a programming language, it is important to try the examples in the book, then modify them and try them again and to test your understanding. So basically saying that to learn or to type JavaScript, if you do not have Node installed, you can directly run JavaScript in your browser. I can show you that. Go to Chrome and then go on right click, inspect. I would say let us go on incognito mode right now. Yeah, so we are in incognito. Go on inspect, go on console. Now we can just directly write here console.log. So here we can directly run it and write it. So yeah, you can add breakpoints and do a lot of stuff here as well. This is basically the JavaScript engine on the browser. Just let me close this window. As depicted in the feature. So this is what I was trying to say. Now another way to try JavaScript is to so you can visit this website to try to download Node.js. Let's go and try downloading. Okay, it should tell me. So then now here I have to go download the LTS version, the limited or Should I download the LTS version or the normal version? There are two versions of Node. Yeah, this is current is this one. This is LTS is basically limited time, I guess. Okay, add another tab. LTS. Yeah, this is the long-term support version. So always download the long-term support version, because then later on support for this will still be there. I'm using a Mac machine. If you are on a Windows Linux, you can go and change it. And where should I go? Okay, let's go back. Yeah, so let's download this now. Oh, it's downloaded very fast. Then follow the steps. Agree. Okay, yeah, it's going to go and get installed on my hard drive. Install. Oh, it's asking for my install. Started installing. It is basic. It is complete. Do you want to move the installation task? Yes. Now let's open terminal and check whether we have node installed. That will be node hyphen v, I guess. Oh, it's not. Oh yeah, see, node version is installed. And okay. Now once node is installed in a system, you can simply open a terminal window and type node to begin an interactive section. So I say node. Oh yeah, I can directly start writing here. Let x equal, and this is execute line by line, I guess. Okay. And if I want to end, it will be, yeah, see. Oh, it is, oh, pressed together. So this is, how to, oh, dot clear, I know I can write clear and it should clear. So it's dot clear. So it should clear the console for me. Well, this has become a bit messy now. Oh, apple layer. I don't know, it was tilde or see. Oh, then I can write dot help. It should give me the all the possible options what you want to do. So if I, so, oh yeah, control C is to about. It should be control D to exit REPL. Yes. Oh, this is basically control. I forgot. Okay, now when you are ready to start experimenting with longer chunks of code, these line by line interactive environments may no longer be suitable, and you will probably prefer to write your code in a text editor. From there, you can copy or paste to the JavaScript console or into a node session, or you can save your code to a file with the additional JS and then that file. So yeah, what it's trying to say is, since now the files are small, right? So if it becomes, then you need to open. No, I don't know. I need to open text editor. I don't know how do you open a text editor in, yeah, text editor basically. New document, type everything. The only thing is whenever you save it with an extension. Okay, don't save it as a format, save it as .js. I will have to change. Just save this as .js. Oh, it's still not in the proper format. I will have to change this to JS. Oh, there are online compilers as well where you can run JS. So if you use Node in a non-interactive manner like this, it will automatically print out the value of all the code. You will have to do it by yourself. You can use the function console.log to display text and other JavaScript values in the terminal window. Oh, let's add JavaScript to our Visual Studio Code. Do we have Node here? Oh yeah, those are Node is installed. So now I will be having another file, script.js console.log. Hello. Oh. Okay, just run this, right? Where are we now? Oh yeah, we are in the same. So I guess node script.js is the right one, right? Yeah, there we have. I just write node script.js. Here is our output. Okay. Okay. Oh, then if you need to embed it in the HTML, you can use this script tag. Okay, so if you want to tag it here, the problem is there are 2 to 3 different ways at which location should I put my script tag in. Should I put at the end? Should I put it in the front? I generally put it here so that before I have when the script is loaded. So src now upon the developer tool. Okay, then load hello.html into your web browser. Oh, okay, I need to open this. So I'll go to debug. I need to start live server now. Where is my live server? Oh yeah, I can just do a right click, open with live server. This is okay. Go to I don't know why it opens. Yeah, it should open on Chrome, not on Safari. Paste. There you go. These are some get request. Oh, this is my something has failed here. Oh yeah, well, these websites are not there, so just get them off. Let me see. Let this be terminal. It's very difficult to. Oh yeah, it won't work here. It shouldn't be on here. Only bug console. And yeah, there you go. To our JavaScript, this section represents a quick introduction through code examples to JavaScript language. After this introduction, we will dive into JavaScript at the lowest level, explain things like JavaScript comments, semicolon, Unicode character set. It explains JavaScript variables and the values you can assign to those variables. Now, here's some example to illustrate the highlights of these 2 chapters. Okay. This is what we will be learning in chapter 1 and chapter 2. How values are assigned. Now, this is okay. The other two. This is basically of the we are just assigning values in chapter 2. What is a variable? What is let? What is var? How does JavaScript support several types of values? Values assigned to variables with an equal to sign. The other two very important types that JavaScript programs can manipulate are objects and arrays. These are subjects of chapter. Okay, this we will be studying in 6 and 7. They are so important that you will see them too many times before you reach those chapters. Okay. Curly braces. This is basically we will be seeing them. You may have noticed in the preceding code that some of the comments begin with an arrow. They show that the value produced by the code before the comment attempt. It means that after the code before the comment runs, the variable a will have a value 42. Okay, so basically we are talking about comments in this. Yeah, anything that following. So how to give a comment is anything that follows double slashes in an English is an English comment. Oh, why am I underlining? Yeah, a variable. These are all comments. These won't be executed by JavaScript, by the engine. Sorry. Okay, and then now you're saying over here. Oh, this is again. This anything after double slash goes as comment, so no need to worry. Then we will be doing some operators, what are expressions, phrases. Then we use in EAC there is a shorthand. Okay, then we will be studying about more about functions. What are immediately invoked functions, IIFEs, and how can we invoke a function? What is a first class or my functions are first class citizens. When we use functions with objects, we get methods. Okay. Or then in chapter 9 we will be doing the classic oriented Java, sorry, classic object oriented language, that is a class and an object, a reference type and values and so on. Then we will be doing modules. Oh, this is very important. Asynchronous JavaScript. Then after finishing that, okay, then we will be using modules, import and export functions maybe. Then we will study the JavaScript standard library, what it contains, iterator generators. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is the most important part, like asynchronous JavaScript. Then advanced features in JavaScript in browser, server side JavaScript. Oh, there is node environment as well. Then tools and certain extensions. So yeah, that's it. That is all for today. Thanks. Hope you guys enjoyed and like and subscribe.